Yo, 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 what's up? Another Minecraft video here. Second Minecraft video in a long time. For those of you who may not know, my name is Andrew Heilman. My original YouTube channel that I tried to start was Mastermind Hacks. That was my original gamer tag, and I don't know, I thought about like rebranding and everything, but I think I'm just gonna keep it the way it is as a memory and a little bit of nostalgia to that era of Minecraft. In fact, originally I had an intro, it was an animated intro just like they used to do, those kind of YouTubers, but I don't know where that ended up, and I erased all of my original content, unfortunately, on this channel 8 years ago, but I did enjoy the content. I'm here again because I was told make more videos, and I'm going to specifically call out Scaly5305 for encouraging me to keep making videos. And I guess I could start there. Let me get into the game here, because I had a thought about that. In my last video, I was kind of contemplating the direction that YouTubers have gone in the content that they've made, and I was kind of like talking about how the profit motive was not really existent in the early days. It was more about just making, and again, I'm sorry if my voice cracks a lot. I'm not 10 years old. It's like 2 a.m. and I just wanted to make another video because I had the energy to do it. So I'm sorry if that happens. But the profit motive has really changed content creators a lot, I think. And there was still some of that when I was growing up. There was still, YouTubers, shilling out and reminding you to subscribe and all that kind of stuff. But it's different than the way Mr. Beast does it, or any of these current content creators, the Paul brothers, any of these guys. They care much more about the profit that their videos make than anything else. And they forgot why people started watching YouTube videos in the first place, which is that this medium is a fascinating way to do the original premise of you get to know and communicate with your favorite television show host was an unheard of premise and concept. It was so original and bombastic that it really propelled social media as a business and as an interesting thing to watch. And that's why cable cable's lost the battle against social media, because cable will never have that connection to their audience that YouTube videos and social media has, because I can look at a commenter and read out their name, and you feel it a little bit more in streaming because it's live. It's a live call out, but I don't know. It's a different experience with a curated YouTube video, because I say your name. Not only do I say your name, but I decide to leave it in, and that has significance. It's more than just I leave it in because I have to, because it's live. I don't really have a choice in that matter, and it feels less significant than a YouTuber calling out their audience and leaving that in the video. I don't know. I always thought it was what made YouTube interesting, and there's not really that in a lot of modern day YouTubers. They are just focused on whatever sells, whatever they can do, and I get it. It's their career, it's their livelihood. This isn't my career, this isn't my livelihood, so I can chill out, I can relax. One of my favorite people to listen to right now, love him or hate him, is Joe Rogan. I listen to his podcast a lot, the Joe Rogan Experience. And one of the insights that I got from him that I've applied to all of my creative ventures is that he didn't even know how successful his own show was until years into his career as a entertainer and comedian and UFC announcer and commentator and all that. He didn't know until he had a random happenstance encounter where he was doing a set, and he called out to his audience. He said, "Anyone here listen to the Joe Rogan Experience?" And every single person in the audience raised their hand. And that's when he first realized that, people are actually listening to this kind of hobby project of mine. And that's what I want to bring to all of my ventures. I have a podcast that I just got done recording called Both Sides. I'm in the film industry, pursuing a career in it as a film student. And the premise of the Both Sides podcast is that It's a film insider interviewing a non-film insider, an outsider, about a movie. And it's a film review podcast that I watch with a guest, and then we talk about it and review it afterwards. And we started that, and I just finished cutting that episode today, like 10 minutes ago. And I just want these projects that I do to not be my career, so that I can let them grow and improve on autopilot instead of be so worried about them. Because I have this opinion that worry is the killer of all focus. Because when you're worried, you're not worrying about the right things. When someone's worried, they're worried about the consequences of the failure of the achievement. They're not worried. They're not using their worry as a way to figure out how to solve problems. They're not worrying about the things they need to do to create solutions to solve problems. They're fearful. It's fear. And I just want to eliminate all of that worry from YouTube and social media and just let it be a therapeutic process where if I get, a bunch of subscribers, I have 6 subscribers now. I started with 0 last episode, and I have 6 subscribers now with 1 comment, 2 comments. And I'm going to be proud of that. And I'm going to let that be my win. I don't care if this video gets 100 views like the last one did, although I appreciate it. I just care about making sure that I'm making content that is relaxing and therapeutic to me, so that it's not something that I lose my mind creating, because I think that comes out in the character. Now, that's just a little yap session for me, but I guess I'll explain this game a little bit, because I bet a lot of people don't know the Sky Factory game that are coming from vanilla Minecraft, and I'll give a little bit of history from what I know. So you have Minecraft, of course, the game released in alpha. Well, I'm just gonna make sure I'm recording real quick. Okay, I am. Oh no, I did not mean to open that. Okay, so you have Minecraft. It was released as an alpha in 2007, 8, 9, around there, and then it had a full release in around 2011. And out of that, you have the fact that it was made on Java, you have the fact that it was on PCs, so it was open to modding and all that kind of stuff. So you have the invention of modded Minecraft as early as Minecraft has existed, because of the ability to program using its engine Java. It wasn't a gate-kept program like whatever Epic Games uses for Fortnite. So you have modded Minecraft. This mod pack was created in 2014. It's called Sky Factory. And it was created as a modded version of the Minecraft map called Skyblock. Skyblock is exactly this game where you start on a tree. If you watched the last episode, which I encourage you to go watch if you haven't seen this one yet, this is episode 2. In the Sky Factory mod pack, you start on a single tree, and the objective is to complete as many of these achievements or challenges as possible. In this game mode, including fighting the Wither and fighting the Ender Dragon. And you have a similar list of challenges with the Minecraft map Skyblock, although I've never liked Skyblock as much because it doesn't have any mods. It's just a vanilla video game, and it's not as fun. Versus this game, there's the Tinker's Construct mod. These are all the items in the game. There's 152 items. There's Darkcraft. There's all sorts of awesome things. So that's kind of what this game mode is all about. And how it starts is you start on a tree, you get off the tree, and you build a little platform with the wood that you collect from that tree. Well, technically you start on a dirt block with a tree, and you start on top of the tree. You break the tree down, you're on the dirt block, you use the wood you got from the tree to build a platform, and then you use the oak leaves that you get from the tree leaves and create a little farm like I have going right now. And, I'll keep a few things, kind of secret to see your guys' reaction to things. But then you take the oak saplings, you put it in a barrel, which you make. I think it's just... I'll show you guys the recipe. There we go. It's just simple slabs and planks. And then you put oak leaves in here, and then it composts it and turns it into dirt. And then you take the dirt and then you make more trees. And obviously this is how you increase your tree production so that it takes less time to get resources. And then if you go around shift clicking or twerking, you get these trees get to grow. So if we look at our achievement book, in fact, I'll even create an achievement stand. Let's see here. Achievement stand. let's see here. Okay, so if I take this achievement stand, I can put it down here and then look at it. Okay, so these are our first challenges we have to do. And they're in no particular order, I don't think, versus it's changed in newer versions of Sky Factory. Build a cobblestone generator, build an automated cobblestone generator, infest a tree with silkworms. This is like it's competition between these two, collect rainwater in an oak barrel or infest a tree with silkworms. These two are about the next step. In fact, infest a tree with silkworms is probably the thing we can do next. What that is I'll show you guys over here. I've fallen off the void so many times doing this, so let me just... Maybe I'll... There, why not? Alright, so if I take an oak sapling and wait for this tree to grow, if I put silkworms on that tree's leaves, it will turn the tree... The silkworms will infest the tree and turn the tree leaves into silk, and you can break the tree leaves and get... or not silk, it'll turn it into like a white leaf, and if you break that white leaf, you get string, and you can create a sieve. In this sieve, you put dirt in it, and you get your first minerals. You get cobblestone and all sorts of stuff. So that's kind of like the next step. So we need to wait for this tree to grow. And, I've been thinking about how to tackle this YouTube channel, whether or not I should make videos edited or live stream and that kind of stuff. For you guys who don't know me, I started a live streaming channel just under my name. It's called Andrew Heilman, and I ran it for about 6 or 7 months. I got maybe 40 subscribers on Twitch and 40 followers, and 40 followers on Twitch, and then 60 followers on YouTube. I was getting about 100 views a video on my YouTube channel while streaming, and then I was getting about maybe three concurrent viewers on Twitch. So they weren't horrible numbers by any means, but they weren't great. It's just a beginning channel in 6 months. And then I fell away from it and stopped streaming because I ran out of time, basically. I started going to film school, and it got to the point where it wasn't therapeutic. I was always worried about it. I was never relaxed. I didn't think I was a good streamer. And I think I'm a better YouTuber than I am streamer because for me, multitasking has always been a problem. I'm like, I think I have like some sort of ADHD or something because focusing is really hard for me, especially on multiple things. So I was never really good at handling live chat responses while playing a game and while being entertaining and all that. Versus this, I can kind of imagine that you guys are in the room with me and talk to you and, hear your responses after the fact and then focus on that. It feels much more relaxed, much more me. And I think I want to keep it that way. But in terms of editing, if you guys are more interested, I don't want you guys to be more interested in the game than you are me, because I don't know. I don't think that that's very fulfilling. So I think I'm just going to leave things unedited, and whether or not we progress far in the game is up to whatever happens. I hope you guys are okay with that. And, I'm not necessarily making this. I didn't make this channel exclusively for you guys. Well, maybe I did to make the channel, but I'm still making videos, not exclusively for you guys. I want to make sure that I'm relaxed and I'm calm. Actually, I take that back. I am making this channel for you guys. And in order to do the best job at that, I believe that I need to be energetic and relaxed and calm and friendly and entertaining. And I can't be that if I'm constantly focused about editing and content creation and how to make the content better. So I'm just going to be real. And I think that's what anyone wants the most when they watch content creators, is they want a real person that they can really interact with. So seriously, subscribe, leave a comment, like down below, and I'll engage in that conversation because that's what I'm interested in. I'm interested in building a community of people. And, I've tried building communities with people in the past and have kind of succeeded, but I wasn't building them for the right reasons. I used to be building them for fame and for success. And I've learned that I just need to build them just to build them, and to build networks and to build people. And And that's what I want to do. I want to do that more than I want success and all that kind of stuff, which, isn't the normal path anymore for YouTubers. And I hope it's something that people can grab on, hold on to. Man, this is taking forever. And this is one of those games that's really grind heavy early on. And early on is subjective, but it's really about grinding for a long time. So you're going to see very little movement in a game like this for a few episodes or two, especially if I'm going and making them at the pace I'm going at. But basically, a reminder, I need to get this tree growing, and then I need to put these silkworms on that tree. And not just a reminder for you guys, but a reminder of myself. And you know what? Let's go through these books, because whenever I see people play this mod pack, they don't actually read these things, and I think it might be interesting to you guys. So the main book, the achievement book, says, "Welcome to Sky Factory," and I'll read this while we're waiting. A mod pack by Bacon Donut, who's one of the most iconic mod pack creators of all time. Hello, and thank you for trying out Sky Factory, a modded Skyblock mod pack. Before you go any further, rest assured that yes, you are actually supposed to have spawned in the void on top of a tree sitting on a single piece of dirt. Don't panic. The mods in this pack will allow you to get all the resources you need to build yourself an amazing world. Read on for more info about how to play this pack, who put it together, and for a list of goals for you to accomplish. How to use this book. Use the arrows at the bottom left and bottom right of this book to navigate between pages. In the challenges section of the book, you will notice boxes next to each challenge in the list. Simply check the box to indicate that you have completed the challenge. Careful though, they get harder as you go along. Also, don't forget to craft yourself an achievement stand to store this book in, which I did. Where do I start? Here's a quick early game breakdown. Make crooks to get extra drops from leaves. Make barrels to compost saplings and other organic stuff to make more dirt and to capture rainwater. Infest leaves with silkworms to get string. Make a sieve and sieve soft materials to get resources. "Quote unquote stones" can be crafted into cobblestone, which you get from sifting dirt. Make a hammer to hammer cobble, gravel, and sand. Once it rains, put dust into a barrel full of water to make clay. Cook an unfired crucible in a furnace and place it over the top of a heat source such as a torch and later lava or fire. Fill the crucible with cobble and it will melt into lava. Use water and lava to make a cobble generator. Once you have the cobble gen, it becomes a lot more like a standard modded Minecraft play. And you can use the challenges later in this book. To give yourself direction. Also, when you are waiting for trees to grow, try twerking. No, I'm not kidding. Spamming shift or running around saplings makes them grow faster. For more info about the sieve, crucible barrels, or crooks, go here. A note about biomes. Barrels fill with water just fine when it snows, so there is nothing wrong with spawning in a snow biome, such as taiga. It does not rain in deserts, so barrels will not fill with water, but that is still a fine place to spawn because of an alternate way of getting water. Look up the crafting recipe for a water bucket in NEI to see that. Oceans will spawn monsters, but will not spawn passive animals, and mushroom biomes spawn only mushrooms and no monsters. This is interesting because we're in an ocean biome, so in order to get passive mobs like chickens and cows and stuff, we'll need to build out to another biome. Because of that, ocean and mushroom are both viable places to spawn in. It will just add to the challenge and force you to travel if you want to complete all the challenges. As a bonus, a viewer managed to spawn in a mushroom biome in a Sky Factory world. Here's the seed if you'd like it. Credits: this pack was put together by me, Bacon Donut. I'm a professional Minecraft broadcaster on Twitch.tv, and I can be seen live playing this pack and others on my show at twitch.tv/bacon_donut. I'm live Monday through Friday for around 8 hours per day and starting at exactly 8 p.m. U.S. Central Time. I actually don't know if any of this information is still valid because it was made 10 years ago. Special thanks also to Blame for the presence of Thaumcraft. I actually don't think I have Thaumcraft on this mod pack, so sorry for you guys that want Thaumcraft. You can't ever beat the pack, but I've provided a list of challenges designed to help your progress and give direction to your play. Don't worry if you don't know how to do some of them. Have fun with the process of searching for answers. You'll learn a lot and have some fun too. They're divided into tiers of difficulty, and you do not have to do them in order. All right, materials to you. What is this? I'm not going to read a whole nother book, or this book either, for that matter. Okay, so this is showing you some of the machines you can make, I think. Like tanks, we'll be making tanks. Block breaker, we'll be making fans. Interesting. XP drain, XP bottler. Okay, this is actually, I have a few other worlds running. I have one going with my little sister right now. And I should have read this, because some of these machines I forgot that I needed, like an XP bottler. I should put that on my main world. Okay, I need more tools. But yeah, today I recorded, like I said, an episode of my podcast, Both Sides. We watched Creed 2. If you guys have never seen Creed 2, it's a great movie. It's the, what is it? 8th Rocky movie, I think, or 8th movie in the Rocky franchise, which is a franchise about boxers. And it's really not a boxing franchise. It's a franchise about boxers. It's about their families and their mindsets and the consequences of the sport. And my knowledge of it as a film insider and person who likes the history of film, is that it was kind of the first franchise to humanize the sport to the general public. And that's one of the greatest things about filmmaking in general, is that it's a great way to get a message across and to influence culture as a whole. And that's what Rocky did. It was a good movie released at it was a very original movie released at a very unique time in filmmaking, where you have all these experimental filmmakers coming out of the counterculture movement, and all these film students. You have the first film schools made in like the 40s and 50s, and then the alumni from those schools making content in the late 60s and 70s. That's where we get like movies like The Godfather, filmmakers like Francis Ford Coppola, Steven Spielberg, George Lucas, all these guys. So Rocky is made in that really, original time. Also, thanks to television being such a highly competitive market to the film industry, it allowed young filmmakers to have a chance, because Hollywood was controlled by these middle-aged white people who just made all the movies and directed all the movies, and then they were giving these opportunities to these young kids because they needed the creativity and the ingenuity, and they needed the young audience to really fall in love with filmmaking again. And it was a cool time for movies, and Rocky comes out of that. And I just got done watching the 8th Rocky movie, 2nd Creed movie, called Creed 2, with my friend Michael. And that episode will be available eventually on the show Both Sides. I might link it in the description, but it's just I think the YouTube name is Both Sides _podcast. So I highly recommend you guys check it out if you like watching my content, because that's more me is on that show. So yeah, I did that today. I got to sleep in because it's a Saturday, and I have a hard time with sleep. I don't have insomnia. I don't have anxiety. It's not that bad, but I'm a night owl, early bird. I'm the worst kinds of both. I just don't like sleeping, and I've never liked sleeping ever since I was growing up as an infant and a kid. I remember my parents would try to put me to bed as like nap time, and I would roll over, eyes against the wall so they couldn't see my eyes, and just open my eyes and just lay awake, because I've always been restless. I've never wanted to sleep. I don't take naps. A lot of older people take naps. I don't take naps. I don't sleep. I see it as boring, waste of time, whatever. I always want to do stuff. I don't like sleeping. So that's why I'm recording this video at 2 a.m. because, I could go to sleep, but I'm like, I'd rather do this because this is more fun, and sleep isn't fun. And yes, obviously sleep is important for my health, important for me to have mindsets and all sorts of stuff. I probably wouldn't have this much energy if I didn't sleep in this morning. But you know, if you got to go with the flow of your mood. Okay. So I'll finish that thought in a second. So now that this tree's grown, I've got these silkworms. I have 12 of them now that I broke down a few trees, and they drop from breaking oak leaves. So I'm going to right-click these leaves with these worms, and that is going to start the infesting process. And you'll see it in a few minutes. You'll see the leaves start to infest these other leaves, and it'll turn the entire tree white. And when you break the leaves, it'll give you string, and that string will help in the future. What was I going to say? Something to do with sleep. What was I going to say? You guys will remind me. I mean, basically, I don't like sleep. Sleep is boring. Man, I knew I shouldn't have sidetracked because I was going to forget it. But anyways, I have small brain here, little brain. But yeah, I can't move on from the subject, but I have to because I've forgotten it. We were talking about. God, what were you talking? This is gonna drive me crazy. Oh, whatever. I'll resolve my thought in the comments. Basically, sleep bad. I don't like sleeping. But I was able to do that this morning. I was able to record my show with my friend, which I highly recommend you guys watch. And you know, that's life. You're going to forget things. I'm going to forget things. I'm not a perfect human being. Why is this lopsided? Is it lopsided? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. Is this uneven already? Oh yeah, I mean it's starting in uneven, so I guess that's fine. You know, I think it's fine. Does it end here? No, it doesn't. Yeah, there should be one here. No, I need more oak planks. Symmetry matters a lot to me, obviously, if you guys couldn't tell. So I was homeschooled, okay? I didn't graduate. I dropped out of preschool is what I'd like to say. Why isn't this? I think it just needs to be more even in order for it to work, which means I need to go this way, I think. Wait, I shouldn't have filled that in, shouldn't I? Shouldn't I have? One, two, three. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is so weird. I hate building. Oh well. Gotta wait for this tree to grow. But you see how it says 100%? If I break this leaf, one won't hurt. If I break this, maybe one will hurt. Okay, if I break this, I should get string, which is pretty cool. I mean, I need that to grow more so that I can build beds, I can build sieves, I can do all sorts of stuff. But yeah, I mean, I was astounded by the success of last episode because I thought it was going to get like no views and no subscribers, which is fine. And you know, if it wasn't received at all, I don't need every video I make to be a smash hit. But if it wasn't received well at all, I think I would have stopped the channel and moved on and said, you know, it didn't really resonate with anybody, so might as well move on. Is this done? I think it's almost done. The top leaves aren't done. I'm impatient. But yeah, I got 6 subscribers, which, you know, is cool. And I got 1 commenter. And I just want to keep doing it as a therapeutic, relaxing measure for me. And I hope it's a similar thing for you guys. And, you know, your input does matter, but if you're telling me to do something that compromises my own emotions, I don't think that I'll be willing to bend over backwards for that. Like, I want to be my own man too, and my own person. All right, so if I do this, that'll be 4. I think this will be even now. Yes, okay. So that's good. I don't need to change that. Doink. Okay. Let me know. You know, I've talked about my favorite YouTubers and content creators and Minecraft players as I've kind of like been playing this game again and going back and reliving my childhood. And I want to hear more of that from you guys. What content creators did you guys watch that you really just enjoyed and had a good time with? For me, it was Sunday, but I've heard, you know, Captain Sparkles. I've heard a bunch of other people that I've really inspired a lot of content creators to make content. And I wonder if there's any of those people for you guys, because I am interested in the conversation. I know that this is creating this yellow. If you press F7, I don't know if it's a mod or if it's real. If you press F7, it shows you what creatures spawn, or where monsters can spawn. I know that I'm using top slabs to spawn creatures, but I don't really care. I'll just shoo them away. I want to make like something cool. But yeah, I have such a limited experience. I talk about Sunday, how he was like my television. I watched more episodes of Sunday than of any show I've ever seen. And I think that's a common experience for my generation, where cable television is gone and social media is the new cool thing. And I don't know, I want to keep the conversation going. And I want to be there for people who want a conversation to have. Because I like talking. I like talking to you guys. I like exploring ideas and stories and history and all that kind of stuff. So just let me know and I'll be here for you. Okay, here we go. Here's another one. Doink, 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 doink. All right, so I have 16 string. I don't think... Okay, maybe I do care about... This is a lot. Let me see. Can I make a CV? Okay, so I need 2 more string. Once I get 2 string, I can progress the mod pack. But yeah, it's important to me that I'm genuine, that I'm not fake, because I partly started to upload on this channel again because I'm very critical of new YouTubers. Rewatching Sunday and replaying this game, and it's sad to me that the connection between the audience and the content creator has been lost. And you know, it's always been lost when a content creator gets to a certain size. I mean, that was what Markiplier was lamenting about in one of his videos, how his disconnection... I think it's like his 5 million subscriber video or something, and he was just absolutely bawling in it when he saw everyone made these signs or something for him. It was like a reaction video that he made for his 5 million subscribers special. And he said that the reason why he was so sad is that he'll never have a personal connection with his audience ever again because of how successful he got. Which is a sad, lamenting thought, because he can't keep up to date with, you know, the thousands of comments. But my response to that would be, you can still have one-on-one communications with them. Just because you have 100 people watching you doesn't mean you can't. Obviously, it would mean that you'd pick and choose, but picking and choosing is better than not talking to them at all. And, you know, I've criticized Markiplier to a bunch of my friends because I've been a big Markiplier supporter since the pandemic. I say Markiplier supporter like he's Trump or something. I've been a fan of Markiplier since the pandemic. And he abandoned his audience to make this movie, Iron Lung, which I watched opening night because I supported him as a filmmaker, and enjoyed it. I think it's a good movie. It's not a perfect movie, but it's a very good first movie. But I knew it was going to be good because he made In Space with Markiplier and Heist with Markiplier, and both shows were really well directed and well produced, in my opinion. In fact, I think those shows are better than Iron Lung. Hot take. But he abandoned his audience pretty much to make that movie, where he was making daily videos, and then he was making weekly, and then he was making monthly videos. And he would come in and tell the audience where he was at and try to connect, but he'd sacrificed them for that. And I want to be consistent unlike that. I want to be here for a certain period, which is probably going to be not daily uploads, but every once in a while. And I want to establish a relationship like this and not eliminate it for any reason. As long as you guys keep motivating me, because I'm a really sad person. I'm a really melancholy person that is unmotivated to do a lot of things. So really let me know if I should keep going, and I'll try my best to keep going. But I don't want to not keep going. I want to keep going. So just let me know, and let me know if there's anything on your guys' mind, and I'll try to continue the conversation, and maybe I'll talk about it in a video or something. I think that would be an interesting premise, because I'm a storyteller, or try to be. So I'm always looking out for interesting premises and plots and all that stuff. So if you guys comment, talk about hamburgers, or this is my favorite hamburger, or whatever, as an analogy, then maybe I'll start the next episode talking about hamburgers or something. I think that would be fun. So let me know if that'd be something interesting for you guys. Like I said, there's not much going on in this mod pack for like the first 2 hours of gameplay, so I'm really trying to fill time with interacting with you guys and saying what's up and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I mean, I don't like streaming as much because I can't. It's hard for me to play a game and communicate to people at the same time, or communicate with people. It's different. Communicating to people and communicating with people is different. And I always have a hard time communicating with people while playing a game. And I don't find an enjoyment out of communicating with people while playing a game, because I'd rather pay 100% of my attention on the person I'm communicating with when I'm playing a game, or when I'm talking to them, versus playing a game. I can't communicate 100% of my attention because I'm focused on the game. I hope that makes sense. I hope that's not a crazy statement, but I could care less if that made sense to a lot of people. And I go back and forth between, are there any slabs I can make? I go back and forth of how much I really care about an audience's input. I do care, but I also care about me, and I'm sure that's the most selfless thing I could say. But I try to care about my health, and I hope everybody cares about their health to a certain extent, because if you don't care about your health, then you're kind of done. Like, you're the only one who can actually control how you feel. And, that's not a victim mentality that a lot of people have, but it's true. You control your emotions. You control how you handle and respond to certain people. And I want to be in control, because I think that's what people want out of creators that they watch. They want someone who strives to be better, and strives to control, and strives to not lose themselves. Because it's not fun to watch someone lose themselves. It's never been fun. Unless it's like a fictional story or something, and it's something that you can try to gain storytelling knowledge from while doing. Okay, so that tree is done. So I'll progress the mod pack for you guys. So if I go to this tree, I break it down. I get string. And I take this string, go to my chest. I can create silk meshes. And then if I break this down, I think I need a stick. Like this, I get an oak sieve. Or sieve, however you pronounce it. I place this down, I put dirt in it, I sieve dirt. Voila, I have resources now. The resources I got are carrot seeds, which aren't really important. But the next big thing are these stones. And it said in the achievement book that this is one of the things you had to do. If you take these stones, put them in your crafting table, you get cobblestone. And there's so many other things that you can do with cobblestone, but I'm going to leave this in here for now. I want these. And if you press R, it auto-sorts your inventory. Let me move my mic. Okay. So now what I need to do is I need to get enough trees. That is bothering me that that's there. I need to get more tree leaves, make more dirt, and sieve more dirt to get more cobblestone. That's like the next thing. So actually, I can start building this now. I should actually get more barrels soon, but I'll do that in a second. Let me see. I want to make sure that this can be used as a dirt barrel and not a water barrel and collect rain. Because what happens is when it rains, these oak barrels fill up. And if they're dirt barrels, then it's just a whole mess. I don't like it. All right, let me create another barrel. But yeah, I know my channel's unconventional. I know it's weird. I know it's, whatever. But I think that makes it unique. And it's just a matter of time before I cultivate some amount of people that are interested in what I have to say. And I just hope that I stay interesting. That I make points, that I examine myself that are helpful and interesting and apply to other people. And that's all I've ever wanted. Well, I don't know if that's all I've ever wanted in all of aspects of my life. I really did care about fame and money and all that kind of stuff when I was really young. But when I say I was really young, I mean, I'm still young, but when I was younger, little, like that reminds me of the line from How to Train Your Dragon where Hiccup goes, when I was little or littler. That's just a random reference. My family makes a whole lot of references. We were all homeschooled, so we had nothing better to do but watch TV and television shows for our entire childhood. And that's, in fact, how I learned a lot about speaking and human behavior and storytelling and all that kind of stuff. And, we just quote everything. Everything that we say is a quote or a reference. As, it's kind of like meme culture in a way, which is how I've always thought of meme culture. Meme culture is a referential medium. It's all about referencing content and shows and movies and TV shows, and that's where a lot of these graphics come from for these memes. It's the same thing with it does the same thing with like celebrities and all that. And that's just my family and my siblings, is we have this internal dialogue. Oh God, it was so close. We have this internal and external dialogue with each other where it's just all it's all references. All right, so this is the first thing we get to check off: infest a tree with silkworms and craft a sieve. Next thing we can do is collect rainwater in an oak barrel, but it's not going to rain for a long time. So this achievement is one of the hardest ones to get early on, because this one leads to a lot of things, because you can't make a cobblestone generator without water, and you'll just bog yourself down the entire mod pack if you can never get rainwater. Build a proper house. That'll be easy. Could probably do that soon. But I need more things, like more resources. But All right. I think I have enough dirt to start progressing again. So the main thing that you get from this is you get hammers, like it said in the achievement book. So let me see. Oh, I barely don't have enough. I need one more cobblestone. But you go in here, you make a hammer, and then you break cobblestone with this hammer. And then that turns it into gravel, and then you sieve gravel, and you get different things out of it. Most notably, iron, diamonds, emeralds, all of those kind of mineral elements like that you get from sieving gravel. You can't sieve cobblestone, otherwise you'd probably be able to get it from cobblestone. Good, easy. Okay, here we go. Okay, so you go in here. Boom. All right. So I take this cobblestone, I get this hammer, I left click, boom, turns it into gravel. I take gravel, I go in here. And it didn't give me anything because it's a % chance drops that you get from sieving, my understanding. Doink. All right. I really want to... I'm going to start wrapping up this video soon, but I really want to finish this corner before I go. But, yeah, I mean, again, shout out to Scaly5305 for commenting on my first ever video in a long time. I'm trying to remember the kind of videos that I made. I know I made a few Minecraft Let's Plays, and I had a few friends who were big YouTubers that I was always trying to kind of like start a little drama with because I think drama is interesting. But like a little bit of YouTube drama, but I never got very far. But yeah, I did it I started in like 2017, 2018. I made a few Minecraft videos. I know for a fact I made a video where I made a fake broke my mouse, rage bait kind of video where, or maybe it was, I think my mouse was broken. And obviously I'm talking about computer mouse, not an actual mouse. My computer mouse was broken and I made like a dissecting YouTube video vlog sort of thing. That was one of the videos I had on this channel, but I don't have anymore. And I made a few of those kind of videos, and I really wish I kept them because I've grown so much since then. And any message to any people who are in a similar position or who have kids, or want to have kids, don't throw away their first drawings or their first toys or their first crafts or whatever, even if they're so embarrassed that they want to throw them away. And even though I'm embarrassed by the content I made, I would have, if they weren't ever deleted, I would have kept them because, like I said, they're a reminder of how far I've come and what is to come. And I think that sense of progress is just about the most motivating thing in the world and is the only thing that keeps motivating us to progress. And on that note, thank you guys for watching and listening. Again, let me know if you want me to keep making videos. Hit the like button down below, comment, subscribe. I need some indication that what I'm doing is useful and is providing some value. Because if I don't feel like I'm providing value, then why keep going? You guys know how it is. You're smarter than I should give you credit for, unfortunately. I should be more kind about that. But have a good day, guys. Thanks for letting me talk to you.